Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Scales, the very first full players edition here. I'm Ryan Harrison, president of the Jackfish, along with Spencer Tangway and a few players. Oh, there's another player there, and a few players here with us. Guys, want to introduce yourselves? We'll go with Chris first.
Hi, Chris Bellato, left-handed pitcher, mostly in the bullpen from Vaughan.
Greg.
I'm Greg Marco, catcher from Waterdown.
Brandon
Nicholson. I'm an outfielder and played second base last year. I'm from Orchard Park, New York.
Casey.
Awesome. Casey Bouillard-Howard, right-handed pitcher from Brantford.
Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming on, all four of you. This is the most guests I think you've ever had on Behind the Scales show, so it's good. Again, thanks for joining us from, looks like, a couple basements and a few bedrooms for this one. I know we got a bunch of questions for you guys. We have some fan questions that are going to come through for you, and we'll ask you those and just see how we're doing. And with that, Spencer, actually, I will say first, any fans that are watching, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section, and we will get to those as soon as we can. But we'll let Spencer let you take it away.
Yeah, we'll just keep it simple and fun here, guys. And we'll start with Chris, and we'll just simply talk first about last year and your experience in Welland, coming to Welland. What did you think of last year and the year we had in the Rose City?
Oh, it was amazing. 2 years ago, so before I played for Burlington, before the move over, was with London, and it seemed like London was a bigger stadium, but because Welland's stadium doesn't seat as much, it seemed like it was more of an intimate experience for fans and even for players. So even though there's less in numbers in terms of fans, just because the stadium couldn't hold as much, it seemed more alive than most games in London. So it was the most fun I've had since I played college ball when I was in the States.
Yeah, it was definitely a year to remember, and I know a lot, like you were talking about the fans in Welland, very upbeat and rowdy crowd at times. But Casey, do you have a game, Casey? Do you remember that you really enjoyed being a Welland Jackfish, like one of your best memories of 2019?
To be honest, probably winning that first series was probably the best memory that I've had. I mean, coming from Burlington and Brantford before that it was awesome, especially with all the fans that we had in the crowd. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely, like you said, the fans in Welland, obviously a lot of impact on the team. Greg, I know you came, of course, from Burlington last year, and being a catcher, you were probably one of the closest players to the fans. What was it about Welland that just made it so interesting to play in Welland?
It's the fans, it's the group of guys we got, coaching staff, the whole experience, just coming to the field, getting to see the guys and getting out there taking BP and then, seeing the fans roll in early to watch BP, or, the cheers and boos during the game. It just adds to the whole atmosphere. It's pretty cool. Honestly, just everything of the atmosphere that Welland brings to everything that's unrivaled.
And Brandon, obviously you're an American on the team. A tough time right now, but what is the biggest thing that's kind of keeping you motivated to get back on the field?
Just really with the outlook of possibly playing baseball this summer is keeping me going. If you look at it, we would be playing in 10 days now, and just having any hope of us still playing is keeping me working out and getting runs in and still hitting and throwing and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll go up to the pitchers and just try to kind of keep it simple, I guess. Is there something you're doing to keep your arm in shape and keep your body in shape? Because as of right now, the season will be starting in early July.
Oh God.
Well, as best as you can.
My fiance's dad owns a farm, so I get out there. There's a lot of backyard for us to go throw in, so I go out there with Mercier when I can get him out there, and just getting my cardio in. I bought a home gym and kind of set everything up, so now I've got all the stuff I need and just staying in shape at home.
I got I'm lucky. I got a 17-year-old brother who can throw about 260 to 280 for the long toss, so I just play catch with him on the road. But other than that, I try and get like runs in the backyard and lifts at home, like do stair work. I guess I don't know. I try to do be as creative as I possibly can.
Now, some fans may not realize, obviously, this isn't a full-time job playing for the Jackfish, but take me through like a typical game day for you. And we'll start with Greg, I guess. When you're playing at home, what's a game day looking for you like when, you know, you may have to go to work or do something before, and then you're coming to the Jackfish?
Yeah, it pretty much depends on the day. You know, I during the week, mostly I'm working at Starbucks. So, you know, making lattes and all that good stuff, you know, keeping people caffeinated. And then, you know, then I head to the field if it's like a Thursday game. But for a lot of the weekday games, I have shows at night, music. So I'm doing that late night out, and then quick turnaround back to the field in the morning for we do afternoon games. So, you know, got to get to the field pretty early for BP, and that's pretty much the go around right there. But it's great. You know, being around the guys just pumps the energy back into you. So,
Brandon, I'll throw a weird question maybe at you. A couple of fans actually asked me about this, about the players. Do you prefer a night game or an afternoon game?
I personally prefer afternoon just because I have trouble seeing at night, especially last year I didn't have my glasses, so night games were hard for me. But I do enjoy night games when I have my glasses, but afternoon games I just feel like it's easier to see, especially as a hitter and all of that. Especially at some of the fields we play at, the lights aren't the best. Wolf.
I'll go up to the pitchers and we'll bring in the other teams here, I guess. Was there a team or a stadium, rather, a stadium's probably a better way to put it, that you preferred pitching at?
Home.
It's massive. Good answer.
Home and in Brantford. Wow.
Yeah, the two biggest stadiums.
If you got on the mound early enough in Brantford, you were good. If you got on there late in the game, that's a different story.
So we were kind of talking off air before, Greg, you joined in, about a little comeback game with Kitchener, and obviously it was a tough way to lose that one. But going back, there were so many moments in last year that defined this team and how we did in the playoffs. Greg, I'll start with you again. Just name a moment, I guess, that, you know, you brought back some memories of how good the team was in 2019 for the first season in Welland.
Well, obviously one of the big ones that sticks out is that first home opener. Just to get out there and get that first win under our belt felt awesome, you know. And I think that really kind of set the pace, you know, set the tone for the season. You know, we came out there with a fire lit under us, and, you know, we were out there to show people that, you know, we wanted to be taken seriously as a ball club. And I think we did a pretty good job of that. I think we stayed competitive all year, you know, and, you know, we put together a good, for our first season, we put together a good little run.
And Brandon, I'll just ask you, obviously Brian Esri coming back this season, a local guy. What has he done for the team, and what has he done for you as a baseball player?
Yeah, he's a great guy to play for. I mean, he just gives you freedom when you're out there and really talks you through stuff and lets you hear what's going on, and keeps an open communication field, which makes it very easy to play for him and makes you want to play for him.
And up to the pitchers, obviously, is it tougher knowing that with a shortened season, obviously the rotation and, you know, maybe coming in for the bullpen, it's going to be different than last season?
To be honest, probably not really. I mean, I go in there every day with the expectation to go out and throw. So a shortened season might just be a little easier on the arm. But other than that, I mean, I go out there every game and play as hard as I can and throw as hard as I can whenever I can. So it doesn't, long season, short season doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, same thing. Depends. The only way that would, I guess, take a toll is if the league decides to jam pack 36 games in 1 month.
Yeah,
because then that would just be like, I'd probably just be like trying to pick up my arm off the ground at the end of the season.
Yeah, obviously this year's going to be a little bit different, and it's going to be tougher. Let's switch topics a little bit and just talk Major League Baseball quickly and shovel our minds around. I don't know if we're all Blue Jay fans or if we have a personal team. Greg, we'll start with you, a personal MLB favorite team.
I mean, I think I got the little sticker thing over there somewhere. Blue Jays all the way. I know I got a Tulowitzki jersey up there signed. I know anyone who knows me knows I'm a Tulo fan, so, or was a Tulo fan, but yeah, definitely a Jays guy.
Chris, I'll go to you.
Minnesota Twins. One of my buddies is the 5 starter for the Twins, so gotta rock the Twins now.
Brandon?
I used to be a Yankees fan, but honestly, I just don't find myself interested in it anymore. I don't know if it's their fans, whatever, but currently looking for a new team. Don't have one right now.
Free agent, and then I'll go to Casey.
Free agent.
I'm a Jays fan through and through, just the way it is.
So everyone's at home. Obviously, we're trying to stay as upbeat as we can on social media and do everything we can. What are you doing other than like pretty much doing what we're doing at home, doing nothing, trying to stay in shape? And I know we talked about you're playing in the yard or throwing balls in the street, but mentally, how is this playing a toll on you guys?
I mean, it's frustrating not being able to do what you want to do. I mean, I teach full time, so I do that to keep me occupied throughout the day. It's a big change for everybody, but I mean, to be honest, just working out in the house and trying to get outside as much as possible. I mean, the less time I spend inside, the better I am. So that's usually what I do to keep my mind sane.
I'll go to Brandon, and I'll just simply talk. Last year, there was a couple of things that stood out in my mind with the season, and obviously the first round playoff win was huge, and then you go into the second round. But is there something that you would want to change last year, obviously other than winning a game, but something you felt the team needed to work on to be able to be a little bit more competitive in 2020?
I mean, I guess I don't know. We were a little outmatched, I guess, with Barry, obviously. But if I think our approach had to be better at the plate, maybe like working deeper counts and really trying to squeeze out as many runs as we can, because going against that, you need a lot of runs, clearly, no matter how good your pitchers are. But I guess that just grinding at the plate, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll go up to you, Chris, and we'll talk about just your arm and how you're going to be able to, kind of get ready. We talked about what you're doing to prepare for 2020. Is it different knowing that, yes, this season is probably going to be shortened, and yes, you will be pitching, more often with games jam-packed, but does it motivate you more to keep yourself motivated going into 2020?
Yeah, especially since last year. Me personally, I consider myself a competitor. I hope I see other people see that in me as well. I didn't tell anybody until pretty much like the last game, but my shoulder last year, by the end of the year, was pretty much like hanging by like a thread. So the extra time off now that I get to not just rehab, but build back up to where I was mid-season, really helps. Other than that, like the fact that I got hurt last year kind of upset me, because I take pride in my physical conditioning and keeping myself flexible and in shape. So it added to the off-season program that I had before, just to make sure that it doesn't reoccur this year.
Yeah, and this is the injuries and what it's doing to your body is going to be tough this season, obviously, with not getting as many reps in cardio without being able to play any baseball right now. Greg, being a catcher, we could talk about the toll it takes on a body, but just kind of go over what it is and the actual strength you need to be a catcher, because obviously it's not one of the easiest positions to play.
Mostly just your legs, I mean, you're down in a squat all game every game, but most guys, they find a position back there that's comfortable for them, where they can sit back there for 9 innings, 3 hours, and their legs can handle it. I know even just with this quarantine, like my legs, I can tell they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing being inside this much? So it's definitely going to be a little interesting getting them back into shape here. But yeah, for a lot of guys, the only thing that really your legs start to wear out, towards the end of the season. It's a lot of games, it's a lot of innings on the knees. So just making sure you take care of your body is the best thing you can do with that many games and that many innings on your knees.
So I'll switch things up a little bit here. And Chris, I'll start with you. I know Ryan and I had discussed this several times and debated it several times, but last year the Jackfish wore, I think, 5 different jerseys and outfits. Do you have a favorite color, home or away? Doesn't matter. What's your favorite Jackfish look?
I like Major League light.
Yeah.
I think that was awesome. Now, I'm not throwing any ideas. Nudge, nudge, Ryan. But
oh, he'll love them. Don't worry. It's okay. Go ahead.
like military night with camo jerseys. I think that would look unreal.
That's awesome.
I think that would look unreal.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, Ryan, just write that down. I'm sure you're listening, or wherever your video went, write it down.
Yeah, there goes 10 innings away from my.
No, it's true. We were like Ryan and I were talking several times, and the fans always ask for more, theme nights or uniform nights and Major League night, one of those big ones. And obviously, it's an iconic part of baseball. Brandon, being from the States, was it interesting coming over to play in Canada?
Yeah, I really wasn't. I didn't know what to expect coming over, but I was talking to Kling, obviously, and he was trying to give me a rundown of it, and he was giving me like his short version of it. But when I got here, it was more than I expected. Just seeing all the fans and the players. I didn't really know what kind of group of guys we had. It came in, clicked right away with everyone, and great coaching staff and everything.
Was it tough, I guess, at first for all of you guys to kind of, you've been on several teams before and you come to new stadiums and you come to new parks and new teammates, but this was a brand new first ever team coming to Welland, obviously moving from Burlington. Was it kind of surreal when you took the field on opening day?
Yeah, no, it really was. It was actually nice because we had a group of guys that pretty much clicked like almost right away as soon as we all got there. I mean, even though most of the team was from Burlington, we still had a lot of guys come in from everywhere else, and everybody meshed really well, and it really helped make it a lot easier.
Chris, I'll go over to you and just simply, what was the thing you're looking forward to coming back to 2020 rather than 2019? What was that one thing you really wanted to get on the mound for?
Shoving it to Barry, but then they kind of like went. So I guess now it's Hamilton.
Yeah, it's true. Obviously, we know Barry and Kitchen are not coming back in. And Brandon, was there a team we're not going to start rivals here, I guess, but was there a team you really enjoyed playing against, or it was easier to wake up on game day, I guess?
I really like playing London, to be honest. When we went to that field, I thought it was a pretty cool field to visit, and playing the first game there was like, okay, this is pretty cool, and I got geared up for those games more, I guess, yeah.
And Greg, I'll go over to you. We were talking about how Casey was mentioning half the team, of course, coming from Burlington from the Herd. Take me through your thoughts and, being a part of the Herd and then coming to Welland, the difference going from Burlington to Welland.
Well, I came from Hamilton. I was playing for the Cardinals the year before. It was the year, 2 years before that, I think. I played for the Bandits. Yeah.
Well, you can talk about that. You're right.
Yeah. Any way you want to structure it. I mean, I was just coming in, and I knew some of the guys from playing with the Bandits. Pettipiece played with him, and a bunch of other guys. But you come into a new team, and I think there was just a bunch of excitement. Numbers had been thrown around with how many fans had bought season tickets, and it built this excitement. And when we stepped on the field for lineups, and you look around and you saw all the people, it was crazy, tough to believe, like such a turnaround.
Yeah, and I know Ryan and the coaching staff, everyone has all put their effort into it, and they were all excited to keep this season going. But I'll just end things off on, the fans always want the best baseball possible, and you guys, you obviously want the best baseball possible for yourself. But what was your expectation coming into 2020 as a team? obviously to win the league and do your best you can. But Chris, we'll start with you. Night in and night out, what's the thing that you try to work on each and every game going into 2020?
I think you talk me personally, or like me, or as the team in general.
You personally, and then the team in general. We'll get an answer from all you guys.
So for me personally, the one thing that I wanted to be. I know. I don't know if I could speak for Casey, but I could definitely speak for myself. We had a lead, 7th inning or later, game's over. That's what I really wanted out of at least myself for this year. So especially as a bullpen, so the back end of the bullpen guys, when we have a lead 6th, 7th or later, the other team's packing up their bags going home. That's what I wanted. And as a team, I would say a continuation from last year, but also I wouldn't, because if we continued from last year, it would be one series win, then out in the playoffs. Things that continued basically what happened last year. I wanted to be in the finals. I didn't want to be the team that said, okay, we almost made the finals. That's good enough. That was last year. This year's a new year. We have to build on that. And I really wanted this year to say, okay, we got to the finals. Maybe that was our goal for the year, but if we hit that goal, it changes on a dime, and now it's, no, heck with this, we got to win this.
Casey, I'll go over to you. Obviously, this team seemed to click, and you mentioned it. The guys, they gelled really well together right from the hop. It's easier, obviously, to play with a team like that, but you personally, being a pitcher, do you feel more stress and pressure being a guy with the ball right in your hand?
I don't know. I wouldn't say stressed. I mean, I enjoy that stress, if that's what you want to call it, coming in those late innings in a game, especially when the game's close. It kind of makes, I mean, I'm sure I can probably speak for Chris on this. It's kind of what you want. It makes you more focused, especially when you go in there with a bigger lead. Your mind kind of wanders sometimes. It's kind of hard to stay focused, but coming in those stressful situations makes you really kind of hone in on what you want to do and go out there with a plan and executing that plan.
It's an adrenaline rush that keeps you lasered in. Yeah.
Greg, I'll go down to you. Obviously, a player that's been around for a long time. How do you keep yourself motivated and just wanting to be better each day in and day out?
I mean, I think pretty much everyone who's still playing at this level and has their full-time jobs, they do because they love doing it. They love showing up to the yard. They love competing, and they just love being in an atmosphere where they're with their teammates, and you're out there competing. So I think that's what drives me. I love to compete. I'm very competitive, and I think all of us like to win. So, pretty much just loving the game and loving to get out there and compete. I think that keeps anyone motivated to get out there and play.
And Brandon, you're a guy that can play anywhere on the diamond. It seems you played second base last year. You mentioned you're an outfielder, of course. How do you keep yourself sharp and available and ready to play all those positions when needed?
Honestly, last year was my first year playing outfield of any sorts. I was always a second baseman or shortstop. So, I mean, just naturally moving to the outfield last year for a full season in my college season just got me. Like, I think it's easier to go from infield to outfield personally. So going back to infield, you got to think every play and do all this. You have to, I don't know, make difficult throws, all this. In outfield, you can just go in and just run down balls and all that stuff. So just having the ability to play both, it's just,
Yeah, Ryan, I was actually just going to say, I see he's somewhat popping back in here. If Ryan had any fan questions or anything else you wanted to bring up before we call it a first ever Behind the Scales.
I got a couple internal questions, so I'll show those. And first one's for Marco from Ricky Pelletieri.
Hey, Coach.
why he's not playing music right now, and that you need to get your guitar out.
Oh man, that's a good one.
then,
I know. I was doing a live stream the other night. I know Ricky popped in there, was listening, jamming out a little bit. So
Ricky is hanging out with his new baby at home, so he's got a lot of time in his hands to watch all the live streams that he can handle. Another one for Greg is a nice product placement from our general manager, Jason.
talking about, I don't know if he's talking about the Jackfish.
I'm guessing, yeah.
Or maybe good old guitar right here. I don't know. A little bit of both. I don't know.
This one is for Brandon. Kevin St. Jean says you need to pick the Cardinals for your new team. So,
Think about that for sure.
It's not a bad team.
And this one is also for Brandon. That Jeff wants to know how you can be from New York and not be a Yankees fan.
Oh,
Well, living with a diehard Yankees fan for 2 years and seeing how he reacts to every game, and it just turned me off to the idea of being a Yankees fan, to be honest.
So last one comes from Dave White. He asks, what are the workouts and locations you are using to keep in shape? Home gyms, running tracks, indoor, outdoor throwing facilities. Anybody can
Go for it, Bob.
Like I said, I have a 17-year-old brother. He can throw long toss about 260, 280 feet, so I play catch with him on the road. And then at home, as best I can with what I have, and try to be a little creative with the workouts. So stairs, jump squats, stuff like that. And in the backyard, probably sprints and stuff, because I think my neighbors would wonder what is going on if I'm doing sprints up and down the road. They might be trying to call the cops or something. So try to avoid that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my fiance's dad has a farm, so lots of yard there to go throw. Andrew Mercier, our catcher there in DH, he lives fairly close to me, so we meet up and we try and go and throw as much as we can and just get outside, go for bike rides, go for runs. I bought a bunch of stuff for a gym in the house, so lifting weights in the house, and just trying to stay in shape and trying to stay loose for when the season starts.
Yeah, my old high school still has cages up outside, so I've been able to go there and hit. Been running around my neighborhood, and I have some weights downstairs that I've been able to get some lifts in. I have to be creative because I only have up to 30 pounds, but make do with what I got.
and Greg's just playing the guitar.
Yeah. That's it. Well,
Greg, I'm
perfect.
starting to learn. You got to teach me how to play.
Well, actually, Greg and I are currently in negotiations right now to get him on possibly a live performance for our virtual home opener. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yes.
He hasn't committed yet, so we'll see how that goes. But
Well, in Jackfish Idol, starring Greg Marco. I love it.
Yeah, Jackfish Idol.
got to do something.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, yeah. So just to end this off, I know. Came down to the stadium today. It's Friday, and the city's been cutting the grass every day. So the park's here waiting for us to get started, and hopefully July, and it's waiting for you guys to hit the field. So I guess to end this thing off, if any of you guys have any message for the fans or for anybody out there that's currently watching.
Better get ready for a fantastic 2020 season. I mean,
get hooked, baby.
That's what we're all holding out for right now. So we're excited to get it started.
Perfect.
Also stay safe. I mean, don't go out into like a massive crowd. Like, just be reasonable.
Well, that's the message right now, is to stay away from crowds. So hopefully in 2 months' time, or I think it's actually 64 days from now,
But
we
who's
can
counting?
potentially have who's counting? Potentially, we could have at least a somewhat of a small crowd at the stadium to watch our guys, put up runs and all that. And according to the fans on Facebook, Colleen Warren says the fans are ready. So I know we won't be able to keep them away from the stadium if we're allowed to bring them in, and we're excited here. So, guys, it's been 30 minutes, which is pretty on point for our show here usually with Spencer and I. So we'll end it there. And I just want to say thank you for coming on. I know Spencer and I appreciate it. I'm sure the fans do to check in with you guys and see what you're doing.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Take care.
Take it
Yeah.
easy.